What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. This is the second in the same day that we're recording one of these, and each of them has like 20 cards, so we're probably punchy by now. I'm sorry. Thanks for joining us. You guys ready?
So ready.
Born ready.
Awesome. All right. We got this first card, Enterprising Lackeys. 4-cost, double green ground unit, 5/5 with the Underworld trait, and when defeated, you may defeat a friendly resource. If you do, put this unit into play as a resource, and you can smuggle it for 6 and 2 green.
It's a good card. 4 cost 5/5 alone is good. But
Yeah.
this also, you can just keep bringing it back if you want to. Like, that's some serious
Just
card
infinite
advantage.
value.
I like it. I think it's a good card.
Yeah, people are kind of. I saw some people being really low on it, and I don't understand that because
They're crazy.
Yeah, like anything at 4 that's giving you a 5/5 and it's not locked to hero villain. Granted, it is double green, but
Yeah, I think it is uniquely good in villain because you can play this and then barrage the following turn, and there aren't a lot of ways to barrage with
It's
a
a
5-power
7.
dude.
yeah.
So
7?
like this is hard to kill on the turn that it comes out, and then it
Yeah,
just
they're
seems
not
pretty
killing
good.
it.
It just seems good. So I like this. If this was around when I was doing store showdowns and playing double green Palpatine, like this would
have been in there.
100% goes in that deck. It's a lot of stats.
It just eats anything that your opponent plays between the start of the game and when you play this.
100%. And then like if you're playing against control, like they kill this, it's like okay, I just play it again.
Put it
Like,
right
you
back.
always have a card in your hand, basically.
Yeah.
Like you always have threats.
The sad thing is this makes General Krell look even worse.
Yeah.
Because
Double
doesn't he
green,
costs 5, right? Isn't he a 5-cost 5/4?
Yeah,
5/4.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. He's awful.
But in Hondo, this is a 6/6 if you want it to be every time you
6
play
cost
it.
6/6.
6 cost 6/6. That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's got his people on it, so I would
Right.
assume it needs to go with him. It also looks like a villain card.
It does. They had the art. For sure. So does Reinforcement Walker, to be fair. But yeah, I like this card a lot. I think it's really strong.
Very enterprising.
Very enterprising. All right. Next up, we've got Artins Assault Cruiser.
Nice pronunciation.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I honestly don't know. It's an 8-cost green space unit, and it is a 7/8 vehicle capital ship with ambush. And when this unit attacks and defeats a non-leader unit, put the defeated unit into play as a resource under your control. Wild ability.
What's so crazy about this to me is this just eats a home 1 and turns it into a resource like it's nothing at the same turn.
That's pretty sweet.
It's just like, he's mine.
It's pretty sweet.
I thought it was the 888, or is it an 8/7?
I think
8/7/7. Home 1 is an 8/7/7.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
What do you guys think about at this point of the game? It like
do you need more resources?
Right? Is that doing much for you?
I don't think that matters. I think that it's good because of the reason you said. It can come in and kill a lot of other big units that another control deck would be playing in space.
I like that it puts it into your resources so that your opponent can't get it back, like through restock or through home 1 itself or through like any other recursion. And then also I don't know if this is possible. I haven't built it yet, but like, what if you play this in a yellow green deck with like Bib and with sneak attack, and you can play this like for 6 resources and ambush it into your opponent's space unit, right? Like grab their resource. Like, I don't know. Playing this for cheaper than 8 just seems insane.
Or Java,
or
a
Java,
Java deck.
yeah, you could play it
Java
for
deck.
5. Like, that's crazy.
Okay,
So-
all right.
In theory,
My brain can't see the Matrix right now, but yeah,
just like
that's interesting.
discounting this in any way just seems crazy in general. And it's a
I
7/8
mean, even
ambush,
if
like,
you
that's
just
good.
play it on 8 and kill something, then you can play Devastator a turn early.
True.
So,
And you're getting closer
that's
to Endless Legions, guys.
yep.
Yeah,
It's coming.
This is the card that enables Endless Legions, maybe. Probably
I mean,
not.
yeah, there
Right.
is not an Endless Legions deck that doesn't have this in it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
probably.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea what this is from? Because I don't.
It looks like a Jedi ship.
What Jedi ship?
Like, didn't they have like these cruisers in?
Like in the Clone Wars, like it's a
in the Clone
Republic,
Wars. Like where the Jedi's would like command them. They kind of looked like.
But I would expect it to have the Republic trait if it was a Republic.
It is a Republic thing, or at least, yeah.
Okay.
It's canon.
Well, that's good.
I can't. It's definitely that era, like Clone Wars era.
Like it looks like that.
Also known as the
Republic
Jedi
cruisers.
Light Cruiser or Republic Light Cruiser,
Why doesn't it have the Republic trait?
and later the Imperial Light Cruiser.
Maybe it's like in between the eras, so it's not quite Republic, not quite Imperial, and so that's why it doesn't have the trait. I don't know. Anyway, very cool card. I think
it's because they're
fun one.
manufactured by a company, like a not Republic company, and that's why it was Republic and then later Imperial, because they didn't care who they were selling them to.
makes sense. Okay, we got the next card. It's Wild Rancor. It is a 6-cost double red ground unit. It's a 6/8 creature with Overwhelm, and when played, deal 2 damage to each other ground unit.
That's interesting. If you're playing double red Han, you can play this for 5.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. As a 6/6, like a 5-cost 6/6 that
You
deals 2
probably
damage to
kill
each
all the
other
other
ground unit.
units you cheated out with damage, but you know.
But if you have grit units out, they just get grittier.
Yeah. It does seem sweet to cheat this out at 5.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
just don't cheat anything out with Han earlier in the game. And then
Yeah.
you're good. I don't know. He's interesting.
Yeah.
I like the artwork on it.
It's a lot of, the artwork's cool. A lot of stats. Has
A
Overwhelm.
lot of stats.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're playing against one of them weenie decks and you can just like kill a bunch of stuff when you play it, that's probably pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other situations would there be?
Well, I was thinking sometimes bombing run feels bad because it doesn't quite kill everything. So if at bombing run at 5, Wild Rancor at 6 to kind of clean up. I mean, if things are surviving after that.
You're probably dead.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You can probably this probably goes into like a control deck, I would say, right? Not a maybe a mid range. I don't know. You can try to set it up to where when you play this,
Double
you
red
kill all
control
their
deck?
stuff. Yeah, like Vader. Duh.
This one is kind of weird to me. Like
It is a little weird.
there's something about it that I don't like, and I can't really put my finger on what it is. Like it has a when played, it has Overwhelm, it has good stats, but why don't I like it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe it's a great card.
Well, when you have Wrecker at 6 costs and it's just better. Like,
7/6 Overwhelm. When played, deal 5 to something.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than play this
Probably.
guy.
I think if there is a world where people are playing like really wide weenie decks, it probably gets better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or
if there's like a grid deck that you want to play this in.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, since you mentioned Vader, if you did want to run a mono red Vader deck, Vader can either set up the units for kills or clean up the ones that you hit with this. Granted, it's not a villain card, so on that turn it would feel kind of bad, but sometimes you're pinging things and it's not quite there, but you know this guy can come and clean it up.
If there's abilities that trigger or improve or something, if your opponent has like a bunch of damaged units or something like that,
Sure.
then this could be cool.
What does Bo-Katan leader do? She's like the one does she ping?
If you've attacked with a Mandalorian, you deal the damage. Yeah, and then when she flips,
So you could go mono red
twice,
Bo-Katan and try to like
Maybe
specifically ping in a way that I don't know. I'm reaching at this point.
All right, we're all reaching.
I don't know. I think there's probably a deck for it.
We're moving on. We're talking about Daring Raid. It's a 1-cost event. It's red. Deal 2 damage to a unit or base. Very
Burn,
simple.
baby, burn.
That's right.
Oh, we talked about this in the last video, but I think it's
yeah.
I just think it's a good card. I think if you want to be able to burn the base, this is not a bad way to do it.
I've seen people compare this card to Shock, which is a magic card, which costs 1 and it's red and it's deal 2 damage to a creature or your opponent or whatever, or any target. I don't know. But important to note is that in Magic you have 20 health, and in this game often you have 30. So it's not quite the same amount of value. Resources work differently, so that's a factor as well. But I think it's a good, decent card. I don't think it's like insane, but I think it's useful.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something we're gonna have to be aware that it exists. I think obviously we saw 4 cause I believe in have tremendous impact in Sabine decks, and that's paying 3 for hopefully 4 damage to a base out of hand. And sometimes you'd hit that one, or one card and it'd be 3 damage. You're paying 3 for. This with stuff like Fighters for Freedom, I think could be really wild, because then you're paying 1 and essentially getting 3 damage out of it. Which
very true.
Which seems good.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and then obviously 4 cause forces you to play like very hero centric, whereas this just fits anywhere.
Yeah, maybe there's just some like red burn deck that just plays like this and the Chaos of War and Fighters for Freedom and For a Cause and like every single card that can possibly deal direct damage, and I don't know, try and do something like that. I feel like there's probably still not enough to make something like that work, but we're getting closer.
You definitely have to be playing Wolf, because if you go up against a heal deck, you probably just lose.
For sure. Cool. All right, well, that's during Raid. Next up, we've got Altering the Deal. It is a 1-cost villain event. It's a trick, and it says discard a captured card guarded by a friendly unit.
I think this is a really cool card. I don't know. It's really hard to try and make it work, but in a deck that you can make it work, it seems like it's probably pretty good.
I feel like you want, like, if you're putting this in a deck, I would want to put this in a deck where my units have capture abilities on them already, or in like Jabba, because he flips and can capture something, because I don't want to like do one of the events that captures a unit and then play another event to discard it, because now you're just 2-for-1ing yourself. That feels pretty bad.
You want like Discerning Veteran plus Jabba.
Yeah, something like that.
At minimum in your deck to be able to make this work.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this card in general, but maybe it has a place in a deck like that.
Could be strong and limited.
Yeah. It's probably why it's rare. I also think the art's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lando just like, sorry, Dad.
Okay. Well, next card.
Oh, we've mentioned Jabba a lot.
We have mentioned Jabba a lot.
I didn't realize we haven't talked about it yet.
Here's Jabba. Jabba the Hutt is a green villain leader. He has the action, exhaust, choose a unit. For this phase, it gains bounty. The next unit you play this phase costs 1 less. And he flips on 7 as a 2/12 with the Underworld and Hutt traits. And when deployed, another friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit. And he has the action, exhaust, choose a unit. For this phase, it gains the bounty. The next card you play this phase costs 2 less.
All right, so there are some really cool synergies with this guy already.
Yes.
What was it? The bounty hunter dude that comes in shielded.
Yeah, the hunter, the Haxian Brood, and the reputable hunter, I think.
Yeah, reputable hunter. That's a 3-cost 3/4, but costs 1 less if someone's got a bounty, so you can play it on turn 1. Like that's just good. He feels like he has super high potential that I'm gonna let somebody else figure out, because I feel like the deck building for this guy is gonna be pretty complex.
Yeah. I feel that.
So he's cool though. I think he's cool.
I like having the bounty on a stick that you just have access to, because building a deck like Bosk around this whole idea of bounties and then you don't draw them or you don't have them at the right time could feel real bad. But this just being able to assign bounties and then all of a sudden your Jango Fett is a 4-cost 6/6 with Overwhelm feels a lot better. So I really like that. I think even on his flip turn, it's going to be pretty wild, because you could do the whole assign the bounty, flip, assign another bounty, so that, if that unit dies, then you're paying 3 less for your next thing.
Right.
Which could be pretty nasty when you're thinking about coming out 7. You could drop the Devastator. I don't know. Like, you could do some weird stuff at 7. Jabba is super interesting to me, and I do want to tinker with him. I'll figure it out for you, Jay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've played a handful of games with him now, and it sometimes feels difficult to actually get the bounty, because it's really slow. You have to exhaust Jabba to give something the bounty, and then you have to find a way to deal with it. And if you're wanting to play a card that's, like you're on 6 resources, you're trying to play a 7-cost card, you have to do it with the units that you already have in play, which your opponent sees coming. So I've found it difficult to actually like trigger his ability consistently. But I think when it does work, it's really powerful. I think like now that I've played it, I think like one of the more powerful ways to do it is like you give them the bounty and then like you flip Jabba, capture the thing that you gave the bounty to, and now you can play an 8-cost card on your 7 resources or whatever. Like that seems like the easiest sort of way to do it because he has it on his card to begin with. But I mean 212 is like 12 is a lot of health. This guy's not dying anytime soon, so like you can use him as a capture platform too, where you're playing like legal authorities on him and making him even harder to, well, I guess he only has 2 attacks, so maybe legal authority is not the best example, but you know, capturing a bunch of stuff on Jabba so that he's just not going to die and your opponent's going to have to figure out a way to deal with 12 health before they get their stuff back. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to build him. I think he's really cool. I'm excited. Also, we're not going to talk about Jabba's Rancor in detail in this video, which, you know, we spoiled. You guys can watch that video. But Jabba's Rancor with Jabba felt really, really powerful.
What is the cost of Jabba's Rancor for the people?
It costs 8, but then it costs 7 with Jabba, and then you can play it for 6 if you get the bounty off.
Or
so
4 if you double the bounty.
The turn before Jabba flips, you could play it on that turn. And then the following turn, flip, let the Rancor capture something. And then play Overwhelming Barrage for 11.
Are you talking from experience?
So, oh, no. I don't know what you're talking about. But that's a big wipe for a 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Jabba's cool.
Random note. Jabba sounds fun in Twin Suns because it's
Jabba
like
Bosk.
Yeah, Jabba Bosk, or I mean, just anything saying like, you know what, I'm gonna throw a bounty on this thing that I'm hoping the other guy takes out that Sentinel for me to get the bounty to clear the way for me to attack the base. Like it just sounds like a good old time.
I agree.
I dig it.
Cool. Well, that's Jabba. Next up, we've got Super Commando Squad. It's a 5-cost blue villain ground unit, 4 attack, 4 health, Imperial Mandalorian Trooper, and it's shielded. And while it's upgraded, it gains Sentinel.
The artwork is sick on this card.
Yeah, it's going to be another cool hyperspace card.
Card itself, mid, in my opinion.
It's like a big Village Protectors.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not super interested in it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think probably in draft this is fine.
This goes in your blue Tarkin deck.
In blue Tarkin, yep.
It comes out the same turn as he does.
I mean, yeah.
With the shield, and then you attack with Tarkin and give us an experience, and then it remains a Sentinel.
That's okay. All right. Yeah, sure. There you go.
Perfect.
Because I will say having Imperial and Mandalorian tags seems pretty good.
Useful.
Obviously, the Gar Saxon. I mean, this is kind of like supposed to be the Gar Saxon thing where he's now he comes in as a 5/4 with shielded.
And Sentinel.
It's not bad.
Sentinel.
I don't know. I just like if you're playing blue villain and you want a Sentinel, I'd rather just play Childson. But they're different cards, so I don't know.
4K Nolistos.
That's good.
All right, cool. That's that card. Next up, we've got Sugi, 4-cost, double blue, ground unit, 4 attack, 6 health, underworld, bounty hunter, and while an enemy unit is upgraded, this unit gains Sentinel. So it's kind of like the Super Commandos, but your opponent has to have the upgrade. And then you can also smuggle it for 6 and a single blue, which is kind of interesting.
It costs 1 less and has 2 more HP, but it doesn't have the shield.
Yes.
And the Sentinel is a different kind of condition. It seems fine. I mean, it's got smuggle. That's like one of the cool things about it, I think.
Yeah, I like that the smuggle cost is like single blue rather than double blue. I think that's kind of interesting.
Oh, I hadn't considered that. Yeah.
I don't know like what to do with it yet, but it's kind of cool. Like you can put it in Hondo. Like we were struggling to find 6-cost cards in Hondo that like you could curve into First Light, and this is a pretty good one. You smuggle it as like a 5/7, and then you play First Light the next turn.
Yeah, for sure.
This is now has a 9 attack or 10 attack. Like that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. You know, a possible use for this in the Chariot deck that I was running for Store Showdowns, Baze was a pretty significant factor in both the Sabine and the Boba matchups, specifically Sabine more so than others because it comes out at 4. Now, the good thing about Baze is you can just play Baze and then take initiative, and all of a sudden you have a Sentinel that they have to deal with, and they can't really deal with it cleanly, so it's pretty good. So I don't know that it replaces Baze there, but
it's also double blue.
It's double blue, yeah. So in a deck that is struggling with the Sabine matchup, possibly, but again, you're depending on your opponent to play something with shielded or play a wing leader, which I don't really like, depending on my opponent to do something. It has the bounty hunter tag, so this could be another Toro target.
Yeah.
Double blue Toro.
Yeah, double blue Toro.
You got this and Embo as bounty hunters.
And then the neutral one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about the next one. It's Evidence of the Crime. It's a 3-cost blue event. It's a trick. Take control of an upgrade that costs 3 or less and attach it to an eligible unit of your choice.
It's a trick.
What is happening in that picture? Can you explain?
Oh, it's Ahsoka.
He's looking at the hologram.
I know, but
The
what
hologram.
is...
Ahsoka, and it's from the Clone Wars, from when they frame her, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Got it. Okay.
It is indeed.
Well, there you go.
And that's supposed to be Tarkin. Young Tarkin.
Captain Tarkin, I think, at that point.
Whatever he is.
I think. I don't remember.
All right, so
yeah.
what upgrade are you trying to steal with this, guys?
Fallen lightsaber.
It's a good one.
A regular lightsaber.
Yeah, also
Protector,
good.
since you're playing that in your double blue deck.
So you're stealing it
awesome.
from yourself and assigning it to a different... Got it.
A lot of people are
What?
playing
No.
the Hotshot DL44. You can steal that. You
Okay.
can steal shields.
You have to steal the dark saber.
No, it's
Costs
4.
3 or less.
Oh, 3 or less. Sorry. I mean, any upgrade that costs 3 is probably good value because you're taking it from your opponent.
Yeah.
I don't know how good
It's
the card
interesting.
is.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, am I really going to put this in my deck over Confiscate?
Take control. So you could actually
Maybe.
all right, take control of an upgrade and attach it to a unit of your choice. So you can take control of a bounty someone put on your guy
And put it on
one
theirs.
of their guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's good if they put like the ramp card on one of your guys and you take it and put it on one of theirs.
It's kind of cool.
So it probably is pretty good in draft.
Got
And
decent flexibility since people are also playing bounties like that. I don't know. It's probably not.
It's probably very dependent on what people are playing.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
There's some interesting stuff you can do with it for sure.
you're just going to fish it out with Jabba somehow because it's a trick. So
Yeah, exactly. And then play for 2.
there it is.
Easy. All right. Speaking of Jabba, we got Salacious Crumb. He is a 1-cost green villain ground unit. He's a 1/3 underworld creature, and when played, heal 1 damage from your base. Action exhaust, return this unit to its owner's hand. Deal 1 damage to a ground unit.
This is
He's doing a lot.
deceptively good. This is deceptively good. I think we're going to get real annoyed by this little rat.
That's thematic.
Yeah. It
I think he
absolutely is.
pairs pretty well with leaders that also deal damage. So like with this, you can play this with Vader paying a damage to the same turn. It's kind of cool in like
Cad
a Vader
Bane
deck or something.
as well. He's underworld,
Yeah,
so you
Cad
get to
Bane.
ping the turn that you play him, and then bounce him, and then ping again. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Ironically, Palpatine's going to love this little fella because, you know,
He also pings.
you heal and you're pinging and you're just, he's also at some point, he grows tired of him and he kills him and he gets a card.
Yeah.
It's very, very palpable.
Yeah, I do like that. I mean,
Someone
Yularen,
mentioned,
right? Like,
yeah, played
you
with
just keep
Yularen.
playing it, heal 2 every time. That's pretty good.
Gosh, so stupid.
So, yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, great design.
All right. Next card we got is Cassian Andor. 3-cost red hero ground unit. He's a 3/5 rebel with smuggle for 5, and when played using smuggle, ready this unit.
He's pretty good.
Another 3 cost 3/5.
He's real good.
It is
I
a
think.
3-cost 3/5.
Yeah.
He's a rebel, so he goes right into the rebel package
Yep.
of red hero, and it's reach if you need it late game. Just pay 5. He comes out ready after your opponent's done tapped out and everything. You're like, I'm not done yet, and you ready this guy. You know, put a 1-cost upgrade on him. I don't know that. What's
The
that?
heroic resolve.
Heroic resolve. Put that on him. Then swing for 4 out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good.
In yellow, Sabine is just like another way to
Reach card.
Yeah, reach card. It's like you got Falcon, you got this, you've got For a Cause. It's just a lot.
Surprise strike.
Yes, surprise
heroic
strike, exactly.
resolve, heroic sacrifice, sneak attack.
Yeah, and I mean at
plenty of
worst it's a
options.
3-cost 3/5 like that you can just play on
Yeah.
turn 2, which is strong. And then
it does not feel bad.
In Han, it's a 2-cost 3/3, which we
Yep.
know is good.
Yep.
So if you're
Yeah,
playing
cool.
Han green, you've got 6 2-cost 3/3s in your deck between this and the Battlefield Marines, which, I mean, it's just good.
Yeah. Lots of 2-cost 3/3s.
Which also, I just realized we didn't talk about this in our Han video, but this is also in the same color as Karabast. So it just
Yeah?
immediately makes Karabast
Oh, sure.
a better card. Because
Interesting.
you can just
for Han.
always think you're paying 2 to deal 3.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Good card.
Great card.
Yeah.
Great card.
Not much to say. Simple card. Really good. Okay. I'm pretty excited about this card. This is Bo-Katan Kryze, and she is a 2-cost double red ground unit. It's a 2-cost 3/3 Mandalorian trooper with when defeated, for each player with 15 or more damage on their base, draw a card. So we just talked about how good 2-cost 3/3s are. This is a 2-cost 3/3 with a pretty good ability.
Just good.
Just good.
A 2-cost 3/3 that you don't really hate drawing late game. Like that's
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. I'm very excited to play with this card.
Yeah.
I think it's a good card.
And the art is sick.
Yep.
It's gonna be a very good
Very
hyperspace.
Fits right into your mono red Cassian decks, guys. Just does 3 damage.
Actually, it makes that a lot more possible now.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I like it.
Sweet.
She's good.
she is good. Okay, we got a few more left. We've got Privateer Schick. How do you pronounce this?
Seek.
Seek. Okay, we got Privateer
Scythe.
Seek. It's a 2-cost yellow space unit. It's a 2/2 fringe vehicle fighter, and while you control another yellow unit, unit gains shielded.
I think it's pretty good. I like it's just a
crafty.
crafty smuggler or L3, except you don't get it on turn 1, which
Yeah,
is
you don't
when
want it
would
on turn 1.
It's a shame.
But it does become a 3/2 shielded if you play it in a Gar-Saxon
Oh,
deck,
true.
which is one that costs less than the 7th Fleet Defender.
Yeah.
That's true. But when are you playing it?
Yeah, I have a thing against 2-cost units that you don't want to play turn 1. Because it just
kinda
feels
do
bad
too.
late game. I don't know.
Is there a unit, or is there a leader that you can pair this with that wants to spend 1 extra resource for something?
Greedo.
Well, okay, turn 2, you could do this with Greedo. That's kind of cool. Like, is there a leader that has an ability that costs 1 that is good with this? Like a Tarkin-esque like thing that's gonna
Fennec
let you
Shan.
spend that extra resource. I mean, I don't know what you're ambushing that has 2 health, but maybe like, I don't know. Yeah, Han, you can play Greedo in this on turn 1, but that's kind of you could actually better than that. You probably play this in the 2/3 ship, the 1-cost 2/3 ship. So you have like a 2/3 and a 2/2 shielded space unit on turn 1. Is it good? I don't know. Probably not. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this really fits.
yeah, it's a weird
It
one.
does stink that it has to be like it's a 2-cost you don't want to play on your first turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
About it.
That's about it. Let's move on to Look the Other Way. It is a 0-cost yellow.
Zero?
event. 0. It's a trick, so you can discount it to -1 with Java. Exhaust a unit unless its controller pays 2 resources.
0-cost cards.
Okay.
So
Zero cost is
first
always
0 cost,
interesting.
right?
You always got to look at
Not
a
the
0-cost
first.
card.
Metal Ceremony
Metal
was
Ceremony.
0
Oh, yeah,
cost.
yeah, yeah,
and then we
yeah.
have like 3 bounties that are 0 cost.
Yeah, okay.
This is kind of interesting.
I don't know how I feel about this card. It gives your opponent the choice of
Unless they're out of
exhausting.
resources.
Yeah, but then they just choose to exhaust something and they've probably used all their stuff. I don't know.
Like, you flip your Sabine, you play your wing leader. I get to exhaust her for 0.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
0
Yeah.
cost exhaust. is
Yeah,
probably
I was thinking, like, what are the leaders that really want to spend resources? I guess even against, like, Boba. Like, Boba will probably...
Yeah, they spend resources before they flip. You
Yeah.
could stop their sort of extra
Yeah, you slow it down a little bit.
their
'Cause
extra
they
resource
could-
generation that turn.
If they start with a Bosk, ambush play, and they have another unit,
Mm-hmm.
is it worth the card at that point? Like, are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're saving a couple damage probably.
Well, you're saving 4 from the Boba attack, right? You would just exhaust Boba.
Yeah. When Boba comes out, sure. Yeah, so saving 4 damage and 2 resources because they'd only have 1, so it's a very niche scenario, but it could be something.
Yeah.
I feel like there's cards that are like pay 1 to exhaust something, and they don't require setup, and I would rather just do that because they're a little more versatile. But
sure.
I don't know. It might be interesting. Might be good.
I just feel like you always have to look at a card that costs 0 resources.
Yes, agreed.
I don't disagree.
So, yeah, maybe this finds a spot, maybe it doesn't, but something to keep your eye on. All right, next card. We've got No Bargain. It's a 3-cost villain event. It's a trick again. Each opponent discards a card from their hand, and you draw a card.
Jabba unit eating good this set.
I just saw a situation. Either Falcon or Fet's Fire Spray. When they play that, you can just exhaust it for 0 because they don't have the money to.
Yeah, to pay.
Nah, that's a good point. Fire Spray is probably the best.
Anyway, No Bargain. It's an interesting card.
It's fine.
Probably goes into some discard your opponent's hand and draw cards deck that I haven't played before, so don't know how to evaluate this.
Yep, pretty much.
Like if you're playing this, you're probably also playing like Forced Surrender and stuff to try and like.
This really
pillage.
Seems like a red card.
Pillage, yeah.
Yeah.
It do seem that way.
You're netting 0 cards. Your opponent is -1 card. I'm not that excited about it, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I don't know. I think the art is super weird too. Like this does not look like Luke.
It almost looks like Luke is holding a gun.
Yeah, wait,
Am I crazy?
Is that? Oh, maybe it's not Luke.
It's definitely gotta be Luke.
It's supposed to be Luke.
He is holding a gun though, so maybe it's literally not Luke.
Is what?
Maybe it's just somebody else who's getting dropped into the trapdoor.
That has blonde hair, male, black outfit, Jedi robes. With a cloak on.
Maybe this isn't even Jabba's palace. It's a different hut. And that's not Bib Fortuna in the background. That's Bob Fortuno.
Wait, who's next to him? Is it Lando?
No, it's Londo.
No. It's Lando.
Okay.
Okay, next card.
Okay. Next card is Val. We got Val. She is a 2-cost blue ground unit. She's at 2/4 with Underworld trait and Bounty. Deal 3 damage to a unit, but also when defeated, give 2 experience tokens to a friendly unit, and the active player chooses the order of Val's abilities.
What a weird card.
Very strange card.
If you get to choose, like if you attack with her and she dies, and you get to give the experience of something before they deal 3,
yeah,
it's probably pretty cool. Outside of that, I don't know how I feel about this card.
Or after, maybe if you have a unit that has a shield on it. I guess that would
this card's bad.
Yeah? I think
like,
yeah, it's tough. It's a lot of stats.
And to spare the target or any capture, this feels really
that feels
bad.
really bad. Yeah, that's true. But it's 2 costs for
like
4/6 worth of stats.
I
guess 4/3 worth of stats with the 3 damage. If you have a shielded unit, I think it's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe. I think there will be a deck that you can build to manage this bounty.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't evaluate it outside of that.
What if you would play this with like Gar Saxon, and the thing that you're playing after this has a shield, and then when this dies, that thing loses the shield but gains 2 experience, so it still gains the buff from Gar Saxon.
Sure.
Maybe
that's probably viable. But then it's like you're not playing this on turn 1. Maybe
you could do turn 1.
Yeah, you play this turn 1, and then you play like a Imperial Interceptor or whatever it is, 7 Fleet Defender.
Mm-hmm. And then turn that into a 5/4. I don't know.
Seems good.
I think that there's some uses for this, but I agree it's pretty weird. All right, I think we have 1 card left. Yeah, one more card, 1 final card. Pick the most exciting card last. This is Hutt's Henchman, 4-cost villain card. It's a ground unit, 3/4 Underworld, and it's shielded.
I would argue this is actually good.
It's kind of cool card. Yeah.
If you play this in a Java deck and you play it on turn 2, 3/4 shielded is not bad on turn 2.
Yeah, it's true.
Gar Saxon, guys. It's a 4/4.
I don't know if I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, that's true. A 4/4 shielded if you're in Gar Saxon. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, this art is like terrifying to me for some reason. They're just all staring at you.
They're henchmen. They're gonna get you.
They are. I'm worried.
I mean, I think for draft and limited, this is a great card.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely want this. The fact that you can throw this in so many different versions.
Agree. Yep. Cool. Well, I'm glad that we ended on this one. Keep your eye out for more spoiler videos because I think we're going to get pretty much all the cards here soon. And we're going to have to make like 3 more videos because we're going to get like 60 cards at a time. we don't want to make everybody sit through us talking about 60 cards because it'll probably take about 3 hours. And yeah, I don't even know what would happen by the end of that video. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.